Today might have just changed the entire Eurovision scoreboard. We finally got the first rehearsals photos, not rumors, but actual photos of the real visuals. And I can already see some countries leveling up and then others that are not necessarily landing the way people expect them to. I'm going to go through them all and tell you what I think is working and what's not, what's changed and what's improved. Let's dive into it. First out is Moldova. And first, looking at the outfit change, this is not at all what I expected. When I read chainmail, I saw something more impactful. This looks like more sportsy, cargo, and I kind of actually prefer the fashion from the national final. This outfit kind of feels messy to me, which isn't going to help with the first impression to the juries. Instead, it kind of leans into the chaos of the song. Speaking of which, you can kind of see the high energy that we'd expect from this kind of entry in this photo. The boot with the velvet dress and then the metal details, that is not an elevation. But on the flip side, it's more colorful. I think it works better with the song. I think it's an upgrade. And looking at that LED screen, I think that opening message, "Welcome to Moldova," really sets the tone for the performance. This is not like a nationalistic anthem. It's a celebration, an invitation to Moldova. I think that's brilliant. This is obviously the opening act. It really needs to grab people in the first 20 seconds. And from the photos alone, I'm not sure I see an elevation here that helps the song grab you, but I think the song on its own will be able to do that. So the changes here, I don't think necessarily do anything for me, but they emphasize that kind of chaotic celebration of Moldova that is this entry. Okay, now over to Sweden. And this is one that I've been really curious about because obviously the expectations are always so high, and this is one of my favorite entries. The initial package was already so strong. So let's see if we can see any kind of changes or updates. So first look, she's obviously wearing the mask. Nothing new or unexpected there. Question is, will she take it off completely without wearing sunglasses at the end? We'll find out. The dress is different. It looks more sparkly. It also has some net element, but I do think the dress here is an upgrade. However, looking at these kind of red leather gloves that she has on, I don't think that goes really well together. If I overlook that detail, she looks expensive, but the red on the arms and the legs, it's a bit too strong for me. However, the upgrade in the dancer's outfit to this black plastic leather, I think that really works. It makes it more kind of dystopian and impactful. Otherwise, nothing new here. We can expect the same kind of polished laser show, and definitely excited about how she will be interacting with the lasers and see how that helps elevate the show. But yeah, not much new here from the photos. So I think that's a little bit a shame because I do love to be wowed. However, it's also reassuring that they haven't changed something that actually really worked in Melfest. But is this enough for a winner contender? I don't think so. I think Sweden should hope for a top 5, be content with the top 10, but also be ready to flop because I have a hunch that it just might. So for us who's already seen the performance, I don't think there's any new wow moments here. But for everyone who hasn't seen this yet, who'll be tuning in on the night, we know that there's gonna be a wow moment for them. Okay, now Croatia. And this is one that I'm the most excited for after reading the descriptions yesterday because the hype is real. Yeah, this looks amazing. Like the dressers, they stand out. They're so much more impactful. They look more detailed, there's more texture, but it's cohesive. I love the smoke on the stage that they've kept that. And also the screen just looks so much more impactful. And obviously the fire, it just feels like an immersive experience here. It looks so good. I love this color of the red. Definitely helps elevate this song. It kind of signals the emergency and the intensity of it, whilst these kind of mysterious screens really pulls you in and kind of sets a tone of danger, which I love for this performance. It does look like they keep the main elements of the choreo, and I think that really worked for me, so I don't mind this. This looks like a huge glow up. There's so much drama. This looks expensive. It feels cinematic, elevated. It feels intentional. It really tells a story, which is exactly what you want for this kind of entry in Eurovision that has such depth. Also just looks like much bigger than the national final. Like they've taken what works and then expanded on that and intensify it. So I definitely think this could be one of the biggest glow up this year. So from Croatia, now Greece, they've gone in a completely different direction, because from the descriptions yesterday, it seemed like one of the entries that had the most promising stagings because the concept sounded so ambitious. But let's see if it translates visually. Okay, first photo, like the outfit is definitely outfitting. It feels a bit like an elevation. This, however, will help people remember this entry. And I actually really like the change to the tiger print. And in the photo, you already get the sense that he's gonna deliver performance-wise. And then the second photo, it looks expensive, it looks beautiful, it looks so elevated from the national finals, to be honest. And you also see the text, "I'm buying things to fill the gaps," really drives home the message of the song. And this is just a gorgeous visual. Orange and black goes so well with these beautiful tones of blue. And looking at the last image, like it's definitely an upgrade from the national final, but I have no idea what's going on. I'm intrigued. Is he riding down on a little scooter, jumping through that world of the computer games? I don't see that happening instantly, but I do love the colors. I love the pyro. One concern is he gonna be completely alone? Like all these photos, it's just him on stage. Like he can definitely carry it performance-wise, but are there going to be different types of characters? It's interesting that we don't get to see any of the like animals or characters that we could expect in a video game. So what do I think? The styling is bold. It helps it stand out, works within that world. I feel he would be more tiger-like, to be honest. It's just tiger print on his outfit, which is fine. It's playful, but I'm really happy that it looks expensive, it looks elevated, it looks beautiful. The full video game concept isn't obvious to me in these photos, so I'm still really curious to see how that will look on stage, because in the end, like, will this make sense on the first watch? Is it too much to take in, or is it just going to be exciting and actually translate really well to the viewers? I do think that this is one of the performances with the highest potential. So yeah, Greece is a lot to take in, but now let's go over to Portugal, which obviously is very different, because this is a complete change of pace compared to what we've just seen. Looking at the first photo, there's two things. The outfit has changed. I love that. This looks more natural and less stiff. Don't know if the color changed from the warm colors to this kind of black and blue. Like, this is beautiful visually, but I really preferred the warmer colors from the national finals. This makes it a bit more sterile, which I don't think the song benefits from. It looks more polished, it's true. It's very stripped back. They haven't pulled out carton boxes to put on stage, but the roses are beautiful. However, it feels very cold. I almost feel like it's lost a little bit of its atmosphere, and in the attempt to make it more polished / jury friendly, and instead it's become a bit empty and unrelatable. Minimalism can be effective, but it also needs something to hold your attention. I do feel like the staging here is a letdown. And obviously with the guys here, we just see them standing there singing, letting the song do its own trick. I didn't expect anything else, and nor would I want them to either. But because there's also this lack of energy and movement, I wouldn't have minded a warmer, maybe a bit more eventful visual storytelling. So yeah, this feels very intentional, restrained, jury bait. I'm just not sure that it's going to feel powerful enough on the big Eurovision stage. Portugal can always surprise, and I still expect them to pull through, but I am a little bit less sure about it. So now from minimal Portugal to Georgia, which has gone in the complete opposite direction. Okay, the first photo, like the performance, it looks very reminiscent of what we saw in the music video in terms of choreo and energy. What stands out is obviously the outfit. I guess it's a nod back to their times as bees in Junior Eurovision, but I'm not sure this fully worked. They look like they work on Star Trek. Very futuristic, very in your face, because I thought the fashion in the music video was so elevated. I was kind of hoping for something more polished when it came to their look. Color palette is blue and yellow, two colors that goes really well together. But what stands out here is obviously the huge cyborg in the screen. I don't really know what's that got to do with the song. I think it looks cool, but I like sci-fi, but it could also look a little bit AI made. I do like the light in the visuals and the lasers. It doesn't feel cheap, so I say AI made, but I don't think it looks cheap. It just risks coming across as a bit chaotic. Like, what's the theme here? What's the message? This isn't giving me any renewed confidence that Georgia will actually make it. But looks wise, I just can't tell if this is gonna look really cool or just be confusing. So yeah, this feels like bold and risky. And last up is Finland. And this is obviously a really important one because it's the obvious front runner. So let's see if they've elevated it or stayed safe. There's been a glow up when it comes to the outfit. This just feels more expensive. I did think that her outfit in the national final looked a little bit on the cheapish side. No shade to her, just her stylist. So I really appreciate this glow up. Otherwise, this looks very similar. Same kind of lighting, the same kind of backdrop. I really loved his styling in the national final. So I like the fact that you can see his bare chest. There's some vulnerability, there's some sensuality in that, which I don't think hurt. He's obviously still in this like by the window / confessional booth, and the drama with the fires, them facing off against each other. This looks very similar. From the description we got yesterday, it said that it would be bigger and more impactful, and I fully believe that. I just don't see that in these photos, but I'm guessing they're keeping their cards close to their chest. They don't want to reveal too much because they've kept so much the same. But yeah, it looks like the intimate moments, the big moments, the lighting, the atmosphere, it's all still there. Like, this looks strong, expensive, polished. It worked in UK, it's gonna work in Eurovision, but they are playing it safe. Yeah, don't fix what's not broken, but also give me more. I would love some more, Finland, come on. It feels reliable, but maybe at this point not as exciting as I would have hoped for. But the vast majority of viewers, they haven't seen this before, so they're gonna have the full impact on Eurovision night. So for me, obviously, this doesn't change. This is a really strong winner contender. It just doesn't give me any extra excitement at the moment. Okay, so after seeing these photos, I feel like we've got some clear winners and losers already. Croatia is a standout, no question. This is just the most elevated and polished. It's completely Eurovision ready. And this, I think, make Croatia a potential dark horse. Greece is also really exciting, but it's risky. And I love that they're taking a risk. And if it works, this could go really far. But I'm not 100% convinced yet. Sweden and Finland, very polished, very professional, but it feels like they've taken the safe route, which me as a fan, I'd love them to take more risks, but I'm also really happy that two packages that I love are doing what really works. And then, honestly, Portugal, Moldova, Georgia are the ones that I'm the least convinced by right now. I just don't see the full impact at the moment. Obviously, this could all change once we see the full performances. Based on these photos alone, that's where I'm at. But right now, it's definitely starting to take shape. But let me know in the comments, who is the biggest glow up and who are you most worried about? I'll see you in another video soon. Bye.